So, another push-up challenge, but this year it feels more important than ever. And that's because this year we're getting bonk. For those who don't know, the Push-Up Challenge is an annual event started by Nick Hudson and the Push for Better Foundation with the goal of tackling some of today's mental health issues. Each year, a target is set, and over the course of 20 or so days, people all around the country complete push-ups every single day, raising money for Headspace, Lifeline, and other mental health services. This year's target was 3,318 push-ups in 25 days. Now, this target isn't chosen at random. It's quite a sad and jarring fact. 3,318 is the number of Australians who took their own lives back in 2019. And this number is all too high, and is sadly an increase of over 250 people since the year before. But using this number for the target, it shows the true purpose of the challenge. By using such an important figure, not only does it bring attention to the problem, it also raises awareness around these increasing rates of suicide. The challenge actually takes this one step further as well, with every day's target representing a different mental health fact. Trust me, it'll all make sense, just give it a minute. Hang in there. That beard. Let's get long. But that's the push-up challenge. It's designed to help us get fit, improve our own mental health, and also raise awareness around mental health problems. Over the course of the challenge, each person raises funds and we kind of just have fun doing it. Getting swole. Something else that's nice is that you can do all the push-ups yourself if you're one of them big boys, or you can break it up as part of a team. This year, I decided to join forces and complete the challenge with my lovely girlfriend Maya. Together, we would strive for the target every single day, and we also raise a lot of awareness and a lot of funds at the same time. So, without further ado, let's get push. Just a quick little interruption from me, just something I had to say. So, I didn't complete the challenge this year. I didn't get my 50% of the total, at least not within the 25 days that we were given. But as this challenge is all about opening up about mental health and talking about our issues, I wanted to share what happened. In the early weeks of June, I had an anxiety attack, worse than I've ever had before. I couldn't exercise, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't even eat. It was debilitating. I mean, it sucked. It really sucked. And for more than a week, I felt so far from reality, it was frightening. But I got through it. In the end, with the help of my family and friends, I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Honestly, it's not something I like to talk about, but this challenge is all about opening up and talking about these issues in order to shed light on these emotions, which are all too common anyway. So I just wanted to share my experience to show how important these issues are and how good it is to be honest when it comes to these things. Anyway, enough from me. Let's get back to it. So, without further ado, let's get pushing. Over a lifetime, 13% of Aussies between 16 and 85 will seriously consider suicide. Asking someone if they are experiencing suicidality can increase the chances that person finds help. 15 minutes of sunlight 7 days a week comes to 105 minutes of sun a week.
There are many factors that help, but whatever the reason, be sensible and wear sunscreen. Deep breathing has long been used in meditation and Tai Chi for its effect on negative emotions. You've got box breathing, long holds, and the 1-4-2 ratio, which all help reduce stress levels. 1.8 million Australians over the age of 15 feel they have insufficient social support, and 1 in 4 are feeling lonely 3 or more times per week. Lifeline receives 120 calls an hour, and with a record-breaking number of calls during the COVID-19 pandemic, they could use as much support as they can get.
Today is a rest day. That is exactly what I plan on doing.
60% of Australians are experiencing sleep disturbance, with 14.8% of us living with sleep disruption severe enough to be classified as chronic insomnia. Of the total, 2,502 represent men, which is 75%. Although women experience these issues at a higher rate, men are less likely to seek help. Exercise can be a great antidepressant, with 45 minutes of exercise 3 times a week having unbelievable benefits, which equals 135 minutes per week. 195 First Nations people died by suicide in 2019. Currently, they are over 200% more likely to die from suicide than others. Headspace provided assistance to more than 170,000 Aussies aged 12 to 25. Their 100 locations around the country provide affordable mental health services to young people. 14.3% of Australian mothers will experience postnatal depression, with symptoms such as low mood, feeling overwhelmed, and not being able to look forward to things. For every human cell in the body, there are 1.3 bacteria cells, most of which live in our intestines. This is connected to our minds through a complex communication system that we must keep healthy. Under the Better Access scheme, Australians could claim rebates on up to 10 psychological therapy sessions. However, the support was expanded up to 20 sessions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to a US study, around 135 people are impacted by each suicide. There is always someone to talk to, and Lifeline Australia has volunteers ready to talk 24/7. A survey of well-being during the lockdowns last year showed that 21.4% of Aussies were experiencing moderate to severe stress level, and those with mental health issues were even more affected. An estimated 16% of young LGBTIQA+ Australians had made a non-fatal suicide attempt, rising to 50% amongst trans people. Years of potential life lost estimates how many more years of life an individual would have expected to live, which comes to a total of 115,000 years of life annually in Australia. The glycemic index is a value of how quickly foods increase your blood sugar levels. People who stuck to a diet with a glycemic load of less than 125 per day showed less mood disturbance. The cost of mental illness to the Australian economy is mind-boggling. One report concluded that it was costing $200 to $220 billion per year. 75% of mental illnesses develop before the age of 25. As suicide is the leading cause of death for Aussies 15 to 44, help services such as Headspace are very important. Aussie veterans are at great risk of PTSD, suicide, and other mental health disorders. 17.7% of veterans met the criteria for PTSD in the past 12 months. 90 minutes of time spent in nature can change the brain's activity for the better. A 90-minute walk can decrease activation in the area of our brain associated with ruminating. So, even though it's winter, make sure to get outside.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the push-up challenge for 2021, and can I just say what an effect it's had. I went from being a skinny ass nerd to a Dwayne Johnson doppelganger, and I owe it all to this challenge. Amazingly, this year over $8 million was raised in the name of mental health, which is just insane.
The challenge itself was started in 2017 by Nick Hudson and a few of his friends, but in 2021, over 170,000 Australians got involved, which is just a testament, I think, to how events like these can bring people together and really do good things for the community. For all those who want to get involved, donate away. I don't think these companies can have too many donations. And also this is an annual event, so, you know, keep your eyes out next year if you want to get pushing yourself. Will I continue doing push-ups? Probably not. I mean, not as consistently. I mean, maybe I should, you know, beat the boys. Oh, toxic masculinity. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and also learned something new about mental health in this weird mix of entertainment and information which I have presented today. Just remember to check in on your mates, especially the quiet ones, but also check in on yourself from time to time. Don't be afraid to talk, because I can tell you from experience, it helps a metric butt ton, which I'm not sure how much that is in kilos. Put that there. If you have any questions or you just need to talk, please give me a shout. You know, in times like these, the best thing we can do is all be there for one another. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.